In this video, we're going to cover the is null versus the is not null. We only should be doing this check on fields that are nullable in our tables. When we look at our particular definition for our DBO employees, we can see the employee ID is not null. We shouldn't be doing the check on this column. We can see that the title is null, the title of courtesy is null, the birth date, the hire date, the address, the city, region, postal code, country, home, phone, extension, photo, notes, reports to, and photo path are all nullable fields within the database. So if we would go ahead and do a select asterisk again from our dbo.employees as a starting place, we could go ahead and run this to determine if for some reason, like in this case, what are those places that have a region that's null. You could specify in here where region is null. When we run this query, it's essentially going to return to us only those regions that contain a value of null in the database, meaning that that region has never been assigned to that particular field, so it has no value. If we decide that we want to look at not null, we can simply add the is not null, and it should invert that, and we should get the results where there is a value there. So we can use that as one of our filter conditions that we can incorporate and use with other conditions. We can also flip over to our SQL developer. I can look to see how the is null and is not null is used here. If I look at one of the tables, and let's take a look at our order items, I can either just click on it and it's going to show me the table details, or I can right click and edit it and it's going to bring it up into a pop-up window. It's going to have all the details about the table. It's going to give the column name, the data type, and it's also going to show us whether it is a nullable field or not. If the value is no, that means that it's a required field, and before the row can be inserted into the database, that column must have a value. If it is yes, then that means that when the row is inserted into the table, that field does not have to have a value. It can be null. When we want to get a list of things that are nullable, we would use the is null to get that list. And in this case, our table has our shipment ID, which is nullable, which makes a lot of sense from the standpoint of if we think about order items, if something hasn't shipped yet, it's not going to have a shipment ID. So in this case, we can look at our table data, and when we see an instance of a row that doesn't have a shipment ID populated, that it has no value, we know that that particular order item has not shipped. We can do a query of that, just going ahead and doing a select star from order items where shipment ID is null, and this could be run as a report to then give us a list of everything that hasn't been shipped, and we could use it as a punch list to go out and ship a bunch of items. So let's take a look at this, and here's our list. If we wanted to invert that condition and just find everything that has been shipped, we can change that to an is not null. And this is going to flip that condition and only give us those things that have been shipped. All those that haven't been shipped will not exist in the result set. So this is a quick overview of the is null and is not null in SQL Server and in Oracle.